Hey folks, it's Mike Ryan, and if you're watching our show, you've probably known your boy has undergone a little bit of a body transformation, and I gotta tell you, Peloton has helped me on my fitness journey. It got the ball rolling for me because I watch my wife on the Peloton. She takes all these great classes. She has her favorite instructors. I listen to the music. I'm a big music guy. It gets me fired up, makes me want to take part in this fitness phenomenon known as Peloton. Peloton offers a variety of challenging classes, from 4-week strength building classes to running, cycling, and everything in between. Peloton will help you achieve your goals, and maybe you'll have some fun along the way. I know I have. It's backed by thousands of members whose lives have been changed. Be part of that group. Telling you, I'm better for it. Have it in my office. Sometimes I can put on the baseball game. Sometimes I can put on a soccer match. Some other times I'm totally locked in on an emo playlist. Find your push. Find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.com. Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think he could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Longtime observers of this particular program have seen that Billy Gill is an agent of chaos purposely in a way that makes him one of the most popular characters in show history. And when Mike Ryan and Zaslow and Roy do the hockey analysis, which does amuse me, I understand it, but it amuses me, that Marchand brings activity. Like, just as an idea, I understand exactly what you're saying. And I also understand why you guys think with 2 months off, Kachuk and Ekblad might also bring activity. I want to just take inventory. Billy's been off for 7 days, and in the first hour, he's taken out the Lightning, Method Man, and Mark Cuban. 2 of them have been described as ain't shit. And Billy,
Who did I say that about?
Mark Cuban and the Lightning.
I don't think I said
Quoting
Mark
you
Cuban
directly,
ain't
please.
shit. I believe he's full of shit. Thank you. That's a fine.
That was it, yeah.
And, I mean, never mind.
Okay, good effort.
Is that a fine? I saw that Inside the NBA accidentally killed someone this past weekend.
That's a fine.
Did you see that, Dan?
I did not.
Oh, it was it Billy Ray Gates?
Yeah. Billy Ray Cyrus is with Elizabeth Hurley now.
I saw that.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Interesting reaction to that triangle of gossip. The three
I
of you
did not
just
see that
enjoyed
coming.
there. I didn't see any of what was happening in that corner coming, where you guys are just gossiping the way you would around the fridge out there. Billy, you've been cantankerous. What is happening with you?
bronchitis.
How was the time off? Why are you in a foul mood? What's happening with you?
I'm under the weather, but I'm here. I'm a teammate. I have bronchitis. I have gastroenteritis, and just
Bunch of itises.
taking up. Yeah, exactly right. No, not senioritis. I'm here, friends. I'll tell you that right now. I'm working. I'm here to work. It's just, I'm trying to have fun with the hockey playoffs, and no one here wants to have fun around hockey. We just want to do a serious hockey show all of a sudden, like we're on TSN or something. What's going on here?
There is some trouble here between the tensions. Roy, you laugh at this, but this is the conundrum. I would say Billy speaks for the audience here on the infiltration of hockey coverage the last couple of years, when this space has been kind of blissfully hockey-free, except for us every once in a while. Every couple of years, every couple of years, it's like, man, hockey's fun. And that's how we covered hockey for about 30 years before the last 3 years.
Check the table.
It's just unbelievable. It's a professional sport in North America.
I
We
know,
have a professional team.
but the audience doesn't want it the way we're giving it. We're doing a preview show right now for a Tampa Bay Tampa Bay, Florida game that I don't think Billy and Jessica have any interest in. And they're not alone. I don't think
I'll be watching.
I don't think Tony has any interest. I don't think Jeremy has any interest.
Why do you do this all the time with hockey? Like, we did fun bit on the front end. He doesn't know what the he's talking about. He's just talking shit, just making waves,
your thing too.
Trying to get decontextualized and have this be bulletin board material, even though he's not even watching. Like, we're doing the nonsense. We're saying Brad Marchand is a bad person, just a bad person.
Yeah, you said that. Don't put me in that.
Why are you?
I'm not in that
sound like
group.
an old-timey radio guy.
We've been doing like show, but also said, hey, remember last year when Kucherov was totally neutralized? I wonder if they could do that again. They brought in Jake Gintel. This is a guy that can disappear at times, so it's not the same Tampa Bay Lightning.
We covered this well before. Zaslow had the perfect words.
They knew Trava was Zibanejad.
And they don't know what they're talking about, see? That's for some reason you slipped into that. Billy Ray Bates, not Gates. So find me, but I'm not $50 because I didn't claim that he was dead like Inside the NBA did, and then they had to issue an apology, and it was a whole thing.
I actually have the sound of NBA on TNT apologizing.
And we welcome you back. We would like to issue a correction and an apology for something that happened last night on Inside the NBA. We were talking about Billy Ray Bates, who back in 1980 had one of the NBA's best playoff debuts coming off the bench with 29 points. In the course of our discussion, we passed on some bad information that Billy Ray Bates had passed away. While it was inadvertent, it was also inaccurate and insensitive and inexcusable. In short, we screwed up, and we apologize to Billy Ray Bates and his family.
Obviously very sincere from Ernie Johnson, but I just like the idea that somebody one night calls Billy Ray Bates, hey, talked about you on Inside the NBA. It's like, whoa, yeah, they said you're dead.
You guys do understand that Ernie Johnson earned his money right there. They send him out. Enough with the rodeo clowns. Yeah, Shaq has to go to the bathroom, but when we kill somebody as a show, inadvertently, we send Ernie out with sincere remorse, and everyone's like, that's an apology.
It was super professional.
And everyone backs off, and the joke is gone, and you can't do anything with it because Ernie's the neutralizer there, and he helps bring a gravitas to everybody just fooling around.
I would argue that because of him, they can make the joke because they can just be like, he'll clean this up for us. We can be as glib as we want. Also, Billy Ray Bates is only 68, so like they're killing someone who's not, he's still in his prime.
It's the danger of live television, and it's one of the reasons that show is so great. And there's, unlike anything in the history of sports, something that exists between and around games to just carry you for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Has 68 ever been described as someone's prime?
I think 68 is the new 58.
Was 58 ever considered someone's prime?
When it became the new 48.
I was going to say 58, I've heard is the new 48. Did you guys see George Clooney? He looks like shit, huh?
He does.
Like that dyed black hair. When he said
the same thing.
When he said I'm 63, I go, wow, you look damn near 85. Why did you do this?
Really?
Can you believe he's only 63? He looks horrific for 63.
This show loves to talk about the attractiveness of men while I'm just sitting here listening to all of your opinions.
Yeah.
He has a bad
I'm
dye
sorry,
job.
men can't think men are attractive?
Of
Why is that, Jess?
Of course they can,
Jeez
Billy.
Louise.
But
She's
you
right,
are
though.
the arbiters. Okay, that's a terrible picture
I don't like
of him.
that.
That's
I
a
don't like
bad.
That's what
That's
he
what he
looks
looks like. It's not a magic camera. That's what he looks like.
I'm with Jess, though. It's the hair dye.
It's the dye, and this is terrible.
My father should not look more attractive than George Clooney. That is a rule of my life, my entire life. And he does now because of what George Clooney did to his head.
It's for a role.
Let's see what your dad looks like.
I mean, George
What
Clooney,
my dad looks like?
Yeah.
George Clooney has been the most
I got my dad now,
transparent
jeez.
dude when it comes to embracing his gray hair.
His skin's literally transparent in that picture.
Yeah, so what
It's part of
changed
the
it?
problem.
He's doing that for a role. Like, he looks worse because of the role. Yes, it's a bad dye job. It's supposed to be.
He's on Broadway, right? It's
Yeah,
some Broadway
it's a Broadway role. That's why everyone's like, wow,
Billy's
what a
dad
clear,
is kinda
obvious eye
hot.
job. Yeah,
Oh,
it
my dad
is.
ugly on television.
George Clooney's never been embarrassed of his gray hair. In fact, he made it look sexy as hell.
Can we have a dad off right now? I'd like Mike Ryan's dad up there, and I'd like a picture of Billy's dad as well, next to George Clooney. George Clooney is meant to look like something that exists in the age of the Flappers. That looks like a character from the 1920s. That looks like a Prohibition character. I'm guessing he's making a movie in the 1930s. You have now taken out George Clooney as well.
Did he look good there?
No, he did not look good. He looked. It looked like
Billy's spitting today.
It looked like a wax figure of George Clooney or AI of George Clooney. George Clooney is allowed to age.
But guys, this is like looking at a pic of Dallas Buyers Club and say, wow, McConaughey aged like shit.
He did.
Do you think when he's out like that, does he whisper to people as he walks by, it's for a role?
It's for a role. The interview was he was promoting the role.
I mean, you made like $1 billion on your tequila. You don't take roles that make you look like crap.
Billy,
just go enjoy your money, enjoy your rich lawyer wife as well, and go and live your life in Italy or wherever you live. And like, what is he besides ego? What does George Clooney need to do movies for at this point in time?
But at least the Dallas Buyers Club, that role was like a drug addict. Like, is this role that Clooney's playing, he's wearing like a suit and is supposed to look like a nice person, and he looks terrible. Like, there's a difference.
Is he a drug addict?
No.
No, and he doesn't have AIDS in this one.
George Clooney is supposed to be playing Edward R. Murrow. This is Good Night and Good Luck.
Oh, I mean, that he kind of looks like him. I'm not going to, I mean, this is good casting.
Yes! Well, what Billy is doing, though, not understanding why George Clooney would want to make movies is, and it's understandable, but some people do like to work, Billy. Like, some people do enjoy working and making things.
Okay.
Rich people do love to work the most, though. Yeah. And also, they have to work the least. So figure that one out. Yeah.
It does make more sense after I see what Edward R. Murrow looks like.
Yeah.
It's kind of what he's going for.
Facts. Do that.
Are you?
I mean, you guys want to have no fun today, huh?
Well, you've taken out 4 people, 3 of them by comparing them to shit. So
normally people follow you down the path, and we like to laugh.
Yes,
and
you're complaining about our yes and. That's interesting.
Sir, we're not buying in.
That's an interesting thing to hear. The Clippers last night, Zaslow, I don't know what we're going to do with this when we have to go back in time and say that Ty Lue has won a championship, James Harden has won a championship, and Kawhi Leonard is the only thing that existed in the LeBron age that made him look over his shoulder and say, I fear him coming into a game because he's got those giant hands. I don't think people understand. This is the last person to win by himself in the league that has a bunch of super teams all around it. And he did it, not physically capable. He broke down during that run. I think the only thing that can stop the Clippers this year is some sort of health issue, because what they put on the floor last night, I think, can beat anybody. And Jokic is telling you after the game. Remember in the bubble when I told you guys that Utah-Denver series in the first round is the best basketball I've ever seen in my life? Just Utah and Denver with Donovan Mitchell on Utah going back and forth. It was the most perfect, beautiful basketball I've ever seen. Jokic is telling you after last night's game, that's the best that basketball can be played. And Kawhi Leonard took him out.
This is my favorite thing about the NBA playoffs, because literally game to game, the swing of the pendulum is so extreme. And while I agree with everything you just said, because Kawhi Leonard looks like the best player in the NBA right now, and Jokic was in that same game, and the Clippers look like a championship team, but man, like, isn't there still this cloud hanging over all of us, right? Yeah, at any minute it can.
You can't trust it.
At any minute.
No, but it can't be trusted, but it's why I'm rooting for it so much. Because what the hell is the analysis going to be after that wins? Like, oh, we weren't talking about them at all season. And we thought that the Paul George trade when Kawhi went there was going to be a big deal, and it hasn't been. But the Clippers are no longer a laughingstock and are in the most successful run the Clippers have ever had as a franchise, because the trade kind of worked, but it also made OKC better. And you will have to acknowledge, if the Clippers win the championship, the Clippers win the championship.
What a stupid thing to say.
It's a ridiculous, it's an asinine thing to say. It's an asinine thing to say. But they can really confuse every analyst talking about basketball. If it would be the most confusing title winner there's ever been.
It'd be really confusing with Harden, who's been good for them and has been one of those rare superstars that goes to Los Angeles and becomes less of a star. It got quiet around James Harden because he wasn't, I guess, holding teams hostage like he usually did. Like, he is hugely invaluable to what they do on offense. And with the Kawhi thing, it's shocking when Kawhi plays like that. It's somehow less shocking if it's announced he's out for Game 3 and we didn't know it. Like, he is such a unique case study. I don't think anyone has faith that he could actually do this for an entire playoff run.
Oh, but you root for it, do you not? Or is it?
Would love to see it because it would be hugely confusing.
But the part beyond that on confusing. So you've got this part where what are they doing in the middle of the conference? Is this going to be a thing now where the Mavericks can do it 1 year from the middle of the conference and all you really do need to have is veterans? But the other part of it that's going to be impossible to get your arms around on face of the league, on I'm not sure about the Celtics, is Kawhi, James Harden, and Zubac are giving you nothing in the way of personality. Like personality where, I'll make a New Balance commercial around Kawhi, but he won't say anything. And like in terms of star power giving you charisma, they will give you less per square foot than any stardom champion in that entire sport.
I'm really curious to see who makes a deeper run, who makes a finals run, because if you stack up the last few years in the NBA in terms of the teams that get to the finals, it's been really unpredictable compared to the NBA that we grew up watching.
6 straight years, different champs, which has never, ever happened.
It's crazy. And just think of these runs. Miami Heat doing it as an 8 seed, a random NBA finals seemingly with the Suns and Bucks in the middle of it. In the day and age of player rest and load management and play-ins, teams are approaching the regular season way differently to the point that they can make people sound really foolish with their analysis because these teams themselves aren't taking it seriously. And now, for the first time in our lives, they can actually make a run from one of those lower seeds.
But this is different, though, right, with Kawhi? Because it used to be, hey, it'd be the worst-case scenario if Team X wins the NBA Finals because, the player has been resting, hasn't played throughout the season, load management and all that BS. But that's not what's happening with Kawhi Leonard, right? We can clearly understand that this is a guy who has a chronic, severe issue with his knee.
That is correct. So much so that it broke apart his relationship with the Spurs, where he won championships. And I would say that what it is that he did last night is remind you that if he can do that across 3 or 4 series, that's as good as can be played. You know that he can take out anybody if he's that. The problem with aging is he's 33, and we know those are nubs. Like when we saw him win the championship, getting to those final games, you get Kevin Durant blows a tire, Klay Thompson blows a tire, and at the end hobbled after making Joel Embiid cry and knocking out Jimmy Butler. Kawhi Leonard wins, but it's with old man game because this run through these teams in this conference, you cannot bet on that to stay healthy and be that every night.
We were saying it during the run, and occasionally they'll show those games on NBA TV, and it's so strange to watch Kawhi Leonard dominate a series. When you think about the players that were on that court, and history will remember that finals for who wasn't on the court, but he very rarely has 2 feet off the ground in that entire series. You can't slide a phone book under his feet. He has 0 explosion, and he is still unguardable, putting a team on his shoulders.
And by the way, all those numbers you see in the box last night, 15 of 19, 39 points, there's so much more that doesn't show up in that box score that he is doing out there. Like, if you're paying it, he is dominating the entire game right now.
It's hard. There has never been a superstar in this sport, never, not one, that has all of these things where Stephen A. is comfortable on television calling him a thief and saying it's
that he should retire.
It's the worst contract, that he should retire, that it's the worst contract he's ever seen, crushing him. Kawhi never speaks back, doesn't show you much in the way of personality, but the physical size of his hands and the amount of strength that he has, this person is on the cusp of having a legacy that's mythical that you ain't going to be able to explain to any of your kids.
Wasn't there that one replay one year where he blocked someone's dunk with his finger? Remember? They slowed down the replay and just his finger was on the ball and blocked the dunk.
He's ridiculously strong, and we've forgotten about him, and it's fun to have somebody as a mercenary appear. Let's see these photos right now of George Clooney, Billy's dad, and Mike Ryan's dad.
Yes.
I believe we've got a dad-off here. We've got a dad-off.
Dad-off, great game last night.
You know, I think Stugotz can finally say he looks like Clooney. And not be totally off base.
Billy's dad easily, if this is what we're working with.
I think Clooney's third.
Clooney's in third place. Clooney's the bronze medalist as Edward R. Murrow.
Is he obsessed with Edward R. Murrow? Didn't he play Fred Friendly in Good Night and Good Luck?
Didn't Pablo win an Edward R. Murrow award of some sort?
Does Chris know who Edward R. Murrow is?
I know, but tell Roy.
Yeah.
What?
No, tell him. I know.
He's a third liner for Tampa.
Hey guys, it's Lucy, and I'm about to tell you about the most incredible, unforgettable gift you can get mom this Mother's Day. Have you ever heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site that I order from all the time, where you can get the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the US, and they will ship it anywhere across the country for free in time for Mother's Day. Goldbelly will ship gift-worthy cakes from Ina Garten and Martha Stewart, Magnolia Bakery's famous banana pudding, New York bagel brunch directly from the city, or even authentic Chicago deep dish pizza. So whether your mom would love something sweet from one of the country's best bakeries or meals from world-famous chefs, Goldbelly has you covered. It's a super simple process, and the packaging is so cute that I used it for my scrapbook. So, if you are looking to make Mother's Day perfect or want to impress your friends and family with an epic meal next time you host, go to goldbelly.com and get free shipping and 20% off your first order with promo code GBF. That's goldbelly.com, code GBF for free shipping and 20% off your first order.
Folks, the time has come to get some new golf clubs, and that means one thing: heading over to my local PXG store for a fitting. They make the best golf clubs. I'm telling you guys, I went there, in and out, efficient, the nicest staff. If you need to improve your golf game, if you want to scratch strokes off your score, go to PXG, get a fitting. Instantly, the irons fit so perfectly. You get fitted. It's quick. As soon as I got home with my clubs, I go to the range. I'm telling you, I gave away my old clubs. PXG is where it's at, guys. If you need to change your golf game, the fastest way to improve your performance on the golf course is PXG Fitting. The PXG fitters are highly trained, incredibly experienced, and have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. Their fittings, they're educational, they're fun. Schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you can save up to 20% off your entire order. Head to pxg.com/Dan. That's pxg.com/Dan to save up to 20% on your entire order. pxg.com/Dan. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. Life gets busy, boy do I know that, and your mind carries it all. But just like your body needs care, so does your mental health. Therapy is an investment in clarity, in peace, in you. Let's talk numbers really quick. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. With BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save an average of up to 50% per session with BetterHelp. You pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it's super convenient. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/DLB today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.
Dan Le Batard.
I thought that we were past the Lightning. Well, I thought that we were better than the Lightning, and we didn't give the Lightning any mind. This is loser mentality.
That was last year.
No. Last year's shirt was World War III.
Yeah.
Our group chat has a good feeling about this one.
The Lightning aren't shit to me. I'm just going to come right out and tell you right now. We have surpassed the Lightning. They're not a formidable foe. They're a joke.
Stugotz.
I don't take them seriously at all. Strike me by Lightning. I don't care. Nothing's going to happen to me. Lightning are soft. I'm not giving them any mind. I'm not paying attention to them this series. On to the next round.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
don't you guess, Chris? Let's play the game. I would like to play the game, the new game with Chris Cody of guess a famous historical figure, what it is that they did or do. Get me what your thoughts are, Chris, on all things.
I gotta find him. I don't know what my
Edward
thoughts
R.
are.
Murrow. Just who do you think he is? What does that sound like to you? We'll give you some time here to think about it.
Thank you.
Don't check the computer. In the interim, Billy, because you want to have fun, I'm going to entertain you with a bat flip. I'm going to give you a bat flip here so that you can enjoy. You can enjoy today's show despite your sickness. Do you believe that this is the greatest bat flip in the history of bat flips?
Whoa. And for the audio audience, it is as cartoonish a bat flip as you could possibly imagine.
Okay, so it is Red Sox prospect Alex Lugo had a walk-off ground rule double and threw the ball into outer space. You know, like the shot.
The bat.
Yeah,
that
you know,
bat is 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, when you zoom out, like in a baseball game, to see what would be a home run, that you lose view of the hitter. This bat comes into that shot, goes out of the top of that shot, and then comes back down because of how high he threw the bat.
This bat is making the same wee noise that Kevin Durant made when he was going down the slide in France this summer.
I wanted to talk about camera work here because if you haven't seen the studio on Apple Plus, it's tremendous. And the way that they're filming it is really unusual. They're just using like a couple of handheld cameras, and it looks pristine. It looks more expensive and beautiful than anything you've seen on video. This minor league footage, grainy as it is, the lack of cameras here absolutely make this the shot that it is because they've only got two cameras, one in front of the plate and one behind the plate. When they go out to show you where the ball is going in center field, you see the bat come into the frame, and it looks like it's being thrown 300 feet into the sky. Like, legitimately, I didn't think that the physics of that would allow him to throw that underhanded that high. I think from that angle, it looks like it has to be thrown overhand. Like it has to be thrown as far as someone can throw a bat. I now want the other angle to see how he got the bat that high.
Yeah, there's no way he meant to throw it that high, right?
How do you accidentally do that? I mean, it seems pretty
he just
intentional.
Flipped it. He was
It
excited.
can't be. Billy, there's no way. Billy, there's no way that's what you think that happened with one hand, one arm.
flick of the wrist.
Oh no,
They're strong, Dan.
I think that was both hands. I think he took that between his legs, granny style, and flipped it up with. Yes, we got to call him and find out. I got to find out about this because we don't have a camera angle because it's the minor leagues and we don't have access to more footage here. Thank you, Billy.
Was there a brawl after?
No, it was the end of the game. It was a walk-off.
I think there still should have been a brawl.
Oh.
In the celebration?
Yeah.
During the celebration?
It's obscene, that bat flip.
Yes, it is.
Hopefully he's not in, like, his team's not in the first base dugout, because I imagine the players running out onto the field to celebrate, and there's a bat. Like, all of a sudden they're having to dodge a bat.
Let me ask you guys this question, because we are headed into a whole bunch of national anthems, a bunch of patriotic pride, a bunch of Canada doesn't like the United States right now for a lot of very valid reasons. And last night before a hockey game, if I say to you in the hypothetical, everybody in this room, how do you guys feel about harmonicas as a national anthem? Do you guys feel like that will work as a concept or not work? Harmonicas.
For the American national, the Star-Spangled Banner?
For our national anthem. Thank you.
I'm going to hear it out.
I'm glad that you're open-minded about this. I'm going to say dozens of harmonicas. Do you guys like this idea or think it's a bad idea? Let's make it just, I don't know how many harmonicas. I see 3 on the screen. Let's see what we've got here.
How do we feel so far about this?
Roy, what are you laughing about? A terrible idea, poorly executed, correct?
All the players are shaking their heads right now.
Well, but it's just terrible. It's not moving. It's not patriotic.
It's great.
It's just squeaky.
The crowd singing, yeah.
So you guys like this? I think the harmonica.
It looks like a bunch of Asian grandmas too.
The harmonica's not a star. The harmonica can't. It's not a 1. The harmonica's a 2 or a 3 or a 4. You can't win. You can't win the anthem with the harmonica as your number 1.
I don't like it.
You gave it a chance. We appreciate that.
Do you find it disrespectful?
It sounds like they're playing the tunes on Play School toys.
Chris Cody, who is Edward R. Murrow?
He clearly is the man that invented the microwave.
Yes.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
I like this game. I'd like to ask you some more questions.
Before you do so, can I get another angle on that bat flip? Can I get an answer to my question? What are the bets? You guys are still betting that's a one-armed bat flip? What is? I'm going to guess 2-armed. Do we have proof here? Let's see. We do have proof. This is very good. A third camera angle. That's so minor league baseball.
Angle.
It's just so good.
8K.
Pitch clock. I mean, geez.
Here's the windup.
I'm the only one who says it's both arms, right? Oh, he did
clearly
it.
just his right arm.
Just his right arm.
I think it was left arm.
No.
So strong.
I think it was left arm. He went up with it. Stayed in this hand, then went up with it.
I thought it was left, and it was kind of underhand, like a little back into the left.
It wasn't even
action.
that hard for him to do. He really flipped it the hell up there without much strength at all.
Do we have video of the brawl that ensued?
It should have ensued. Mike, go ahead and quiz Chris Cody on historical figures that he's not likely to know after taking out notaries yesterday, even though his mom is the head of a big law firm.
I think my mom's dealing with notaries.
Chris Cody, do you know who Henry Kissinger is?
He invented kissing.
Yeah, that's right.
How about Jimmy Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa is one of the first broadcasters in sports history.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you know who George Orwell is?
He invented Wells.
Oars. Sorry.
Manuel Noriega.
Manuel.
What was that?
I don't know what that one I don't know. The other ones I all knew.
You know Woodward and Bernstein?
All right, we'll come back to this.
Wait, I got one more. Rachel Phelps.
Actress.
She's the fictional owner of the Cleveland Indians in Major League.
Oh, and you were actually the closest on.
Terry Bollea. We will come back in a second. Zazzle, what are you smirking about? We will come back in a second to grilling Chris Cody on things he doesn't know. It's an endless stream. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys if this is real. What I'm about to show you, if it's real. Because I am getting fooled by the internet all the time. As we know around here, the aging process is cruel. And so I have to double and triple check whether things are real. And I thought this was a bit. I thought that somebody was acting. And I'm really confused by two twins who are answering a question here about a crime that happened in Australia, a carjacking. And these are two identical twins. They're being interviewed by a reporter, and I didn't think this was a thing. I didn't think this was possible. I thought I was being fooled by the internet. It felt like two twins are sharing a brain, even though they're not Siamese twins. They're just identical twins. So explain to me how this can possibly be real.
Only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help."
And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush
behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, "I'll find you and I'll shoot you." All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there and we were past our driveway.
You don't think of
all of that at the time.
No, you just run for your safety.
That is amazing, disorienting, awe-inspiring, super creepy. And I don't understand it.
So I Googled this because I saw this online and I was like, this is probably from some like parody show that I'm unaware of. It can't be real. But apparently, according to people.com, they're well known in Queensland for running an animal rescue organization. And they were the subject of a 2016 Good Morning Britain segment in which Piers Morgan laughed at their synchronized answers. So this sort of, I don't know if you call it a bit, but this sort of shtick thing has been their thing for a while now.
My wife is a twin, and there are times where my wife and her sister are in the same room and you ask a question and they will say a single answer in unison where you're like, that's weird. But this is just that times 50. Like
there is a brain being shared there in a way that I don't understand, and I don't even want to mock simply because I don't understand it. None of us understand it, right? Like I'm introducing this to people, and next to nobody knows or understands what's happening there, right?
Who the hell can understand that? I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Is it the accent you don't understand?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to try and articulate what he's not articulating.
I'm with Zaz.
Well, see, I don't feel like I should be with Zaz, but there's something in there that's haunting, right?
Do you like it?
I mean, I like it as content. I like being disoriented by it. I like how awkward and confused it makes us.
I don't like it.
I like the discomfort of it. I like how far away from the microphone Mike is.
You didn't like it.
He's just chilling back here. It's weird.
Can you please just medically explain to me, because what is happening there, my guess is that this is something that a handful or some twins can do?
Well, doctor, I can't diagnose it from the video that I saw, but it did seem like one was trailing a great deal.
One was the leader.
Seems like a case of the repeaties,
Yeah,
where you
like-
repeat what the other person next to you is saying.
Wow, so you're calling them
medical-
frauds. You guys are calling them, you're calling this some form of grift, that they can act this out. That
It's impressive what they're doing, honestly.
Clearly done media before, and this might just be their thing. I'm sure there's some synchronicity, but it looks like it's a bit amplified from that video because you could see one twin's like looking at the other's
Billy,
mouth.
they're calling, I mean, I am now uncomfortable. Hold on a second, because this is like...
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
What's the accusation you're making?
The accusation is that there might be some synchronicity, but they amplify it because it's their thing. Yeah. It's my allegation. Did you know that the CIA declassified a UFO report that said there were 3 small beings that came out, formed one being, looked at 20-plus Soviet soldiers and turned them into stone?
I have less of a problem understanding that.
That should get some coverage. We should cover that. Things are moving fast in terms of the
It's like the plot of The Hobbit, Mike. I just simply don't believe that that is true.
Check it out for yourself, man.
It's on
out
Easter
there.
Island.
It was out there. It was those weren't the Soviets, you know, like we found the Ark of the Covenant, and we're just all like moving on with our lives. They found it in the 80s, and the CIA report was like it's guarded by an entity, and you know this stuff is out there. We don't know what to do with it.
There is an amount of information that is now we are being bombarded by, and an amount of misinformation of not knowing what's real and what's not. Are those twins acting? Are they grifters? Or is that just a shared brain? There's so much out there right now that that all of us are being flooded by it, and you cannot keep up with all of the things that are happening in the world.
They turn to stone. They turn to stone. This is not since Sodom and Gomorrah have we seen anything like that.
Let's lighten it up a little bit around here. Stugotz yesterday. Stugotz was just killing wrestling is fake. That was his take. And Zaslow wanted to celebrate John Cena, 17-time champion. I know Mike Ryan wants to celebrate WrestleMania. We can do it better than Stugotz just simply saying it's fake.
I got a bone to pick with Stugotz. Stugotz made it seem like he hooked me up with Dead & Company tickets.
We covered some of this yesterday, and people agreed that Stugotz got you tickets, and I was like, I don't think that's getting him tickets.
No, like, I checked. I could have gotten the same ticket on the primary market.
Oh, then never mind. See, no, he made it seem like that all only available were really expensive second market, and he got you face value.
Yeah.
That, which is, you would admit, if that's what he did, that is getting somebody.
No, he gave me GA tickets, and I literally cross-referenced it, like, because it was expensive. So, like, okay,
lied. That Stugotz painted it as he got you face value when all that was available was like, second market.
No, trust me.
No, we're not. We believe you. Trust me.
And then he was like complaining that I'm the worst person to get tickets for. Again, I paid for the tickets because I wanted to know all the details. I'm sorry, I wanted to know where I pick up my tickets. I literally traveled in that day and had no idea how to actually get the tickets you said you got for me, that I could have avoided all this hassle by just going to the primary market.
Well, what happens? Does he send you a text saying, I got you tickets, and then he thinks it's all right, go find them?
I mean, I never really thought that he wouldn't come through with the tickets, but I was kind of anticipating some Stugotz-y type of mess around it. But I do know that when he sees it dead all the time. When Stu legitimately wants to get tickets, he can purchase them with relative ease because he has someone direct to go through there. So I was just trying to go through Stu because he's always offered. But he didn't hook me up.
What were you expecting, though? Like, as far as a hookup?
I got exactly what I expected. I would have preferred, like, a better deal. Like, he kept saying, like, face value. Like, yeah, there were tickets available for face value.
I'm not actually interested in the details as much as I'm interested in your appraisal of, did he get you tickets or did he not get you tickets? Because he told people he got you tickets, and in doing so, it was made to look like he hooked you up.
Like, yes, I understand how the optics of, well, Mike, you went to see Dead & Company on Thursday and he got you the tickets on Thursday. Yeah, but I asked for it months earlier. And I could have gotten the Dead & Company tickets months earlier for myself. Had I not had a Stugotz element, I would have been responsible.
Billy,
I had the same tickets.
You're making faces during this. Your appraisal is what? I don't know what these faces mean.
I know. I'm just listening to the story for the first time. I don't have any backstory, but it sounds like he said he was going to do something, and then you said you got exactly what you expected from him, so I don't really understand the gripe.
Well, the gripe is
you want him to go above and beyond what you expected.
No, my gripe is how he's presenting it. Like he went over, above, and beyond. When he just like sent an email to a guy that I paid full price for tickets, and I didn't get like any extra access. Like, and all I asked for him, like he made me sound like some hound. He wouldn't tell me where I could pick up my tickets. I think I was pretty chill about it.
In journalism, and I still want to get to WrestleMania with you, you like to have two sources to confirm a story, and another source is just written in. He did it to me with Nick's Heat when I asked for tickets for my birthday.
Well, no, that person, I know exactly who is sending you that because I know that story.
Don't give away
I'm not going to say
source.
That person wanted him to give him tickets for free. And what he did was he connected him with the person that gets tickets for him. And then he was surprised when he had to pay for tickets because he was asking for free tickets from Stugotz.
That's a fair question, though. If someone's offering to hook you up with tickets, does it imply they're paying for said tickets?
This is the question I'm asking.
How rich are they?
No.
This is an important thing. If they're rich, then I kind of expect them to pay.
I mean, but you guys are all adults. Like, you just reach out to people asking them to give you free tickets?
I think the wording is important.
I don't.
Hook you up with tickets implies pumped. Set you up with tickets means there's an avenue for you to get the ticket.
This is a semantics thing.
I went through Stugotz because he always said anytime you want to see the dead, hit me up.
Oh, yeah, he says that a lot.
So I'm thinking like, oh, there's like some unique special access that I wouldn't have normal. Like I was in a will call place that was for friends and family, but it just meant the line that I didn't know I had to go to until hours before the event would be shorter. That's the only convenience that I got. And totally good with that. I'm good paying with tickets. I'm good with all of that. This is exactly what I expected down to the Stugotz experience, but don't paint it as you hooked me up with something like that. I could have gone through some other guy.
Billy, I'm still unclear on your appraisal because where do you side in all of this? It seems like
I'm just an impartial observer, just taking it all in. You asked you guys to get you tickets. He told you the place to get tickets. You didn't have to wait in a line. You say you're not upset about it, but you seem upset about it.
Because he lied. He made it seem like something he's not when I could have just gone to Game Time.
You
downloaded the Game Time app.
What do you expect?
Yeah, no, well, I expected everything that I got outside of him just presenting it one way on the air because Game Time, I actually used Game Time last night. I went to Monday Night Raw and I went to Game Time and I got tickets to Monday Night Raw. It was incredible. It was a Raw after Mania. It delivered. Show. Hey, guys, download the Game Time app. Do what I did. Create an account and use the code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. This was so great because I wasn't familiar with the new Raw setup for the Netflix.
It's good, right? The minimalistic setup. I like that.
But I have panoramic seat views on the app, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Chris Cody, what time is it?
It's Game Time, MLB, NBA, whatever you need. Folks, listen up. They're here and they're hot. Get ready because Jimmy John's is turning up the heat. After years of perfecting the cold sandwich, toasted sandwiches are finally here. Try one of their 3 all-new toasted creations. The Toasted Chicken Bacon Ranch, all-natural chicken, creamy home-style ranch, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, fresh veggies, all on a perfectly toasted French bread. Good God, does that sound delicious. Or the Toasted Roast Beef and Cheddar, premium roast beef, melty cheddar, creamy horseradish sauce, crispy fried onions, fresh veggies, golden toasted French bread. It just keeps getting better. And the Toasted Ultimate Italian, salami, capicola, smoked ham, applewood smoked bacon, melted provolone, shredded Parmesan, fresh veggies toasted to perfection. Or take your favorite Jimmy John classics like the number 9 Italian Nightclub or the number 11 Country Club and get them toasted. Order now at jimmyjohns.com, on the Jimmy John's app, or stop by your local Jimmy John's today.
The Dan Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. Life gets busy, boy do I know that, and your mind carries it all. But just like your body needs care, so does your mental health. Therapy is an investment in clarity, in peace, in you. Let's talk numbers really quick. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. With BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save an average of up to 50% per session with BetterHelp. You pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it's super convenient. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/DLB today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.